2/3 of the way home in the NASCAR Modifieds only run at Bristol Motor Speedway. The UNOH Perfect Storm 150. See Ted Christopher there in the 3 back in the race with 20 laps down after a lot of damage.
And Segedy, our leader, is absolutely mired in all this traffic, which has got to be frustrating. Ronnie Silk is in it as well in the white number 6. Silk running second.
Segedy, the black number 2 on the outside. Frank Fleming a bunch of laps down. And backstretch inside the back straightaway. One car goes around after hard contact, and that'll put us under yellow. That will be the number 28 of Ed Flemke Jr. And on the front straightaway, the 51 spins. Kyle Ebersol. Flemke carrying the Ron Bouchard colors on his modified. Brings out the caution. Remember when Bouchard was a Cup rookie?
Oh.
The one here. Ed Flemke is Ron Bouchard's brother-in-law.
Right. Had a wild ride at Thompson a couple of weeks ago with a car right on top of his coming off the turns 2. He hammered it pretty good. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's why.
He got hammered, let's say.
Yep. He sure had some help in that one.
He was 15th when that happened. And then you'll see the 51 just come around as he sees the caution flag and doesn't want to make contact. Didn't see who hit Ed Flemke, but he certainly didn't go around of his own doing.
No.
And he was a lap down at the time.
And there it says Ron Bouchard's right on the back of his car.
Fitchburg, Mass.
Yep.
Hey up.
Yep. This is the same car that had the other car on top of him. They had to fix the roll bars for today.
Todd Segedy is still our leader. We're under caution. 46 laps to go. I thought this was the show where anything goes, but that would be trackside. Friday at 6:30 p.m. It's bringing the party to Thunder Valley, and the special guest is Michael Waltrip. It's the show where anything goes. It's trackside. It's only on speed. Ed Flemke Jr. got into the wall pretty hard, so the welder is out there, and you also see the truck loaded with the foam blocks to be able to make the repair to the inside wall. And apologies to Ron Bouchard. I know he wished he won here, but he didn't. He did start his first Cup race here and get a pole here in what was then the NASCAR Busch Series. So he did have a great record here, just not the victory that came at Talladega. Bob?
One guy, when we go green again, that you got to keep an eye on, the driver in the number 51, running third right now, the kid from Long Island, Justin Bonsignor. Remember 1 year ago, he came from deep in the field to finish second to Ryan Newman. And right now, he believes he has one of the best race cars on the racetrack right now. It takes a couple laps for it to come in, but once it does, it's a rocket ship. He loves his race car, and man, he was talking about running here, just competing at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Said it was a dream for him. He was on the pole a couple years ago. He said he wouldn't allow himself to think about what it would be like to win here. But he is one of the rising stars out of the modifieds right now. Justin Bonsignor hoping to bring home the gold here today.
Thanks, Bob. Red flag as they fix the backstretch wall. And look at the right side of Ted Christopher's car. You saw the damage a bit ago to the Nerf bars in front of and behind that right rear tire. And we thought, well, no way can they get him fixed and back out there. You know what? That's what he thought, too. And they said, jump back in the car. We're going back out. Here's what happened. Little hitch in the steering there. And there's the contact that punctures the left rear tire, which by the time Teddy gets down into turn 3 is nearly flat. That car's not going to make it out of 4.
And then it gets hit right there. And that's what damaged the rub rail on the right side of the car, and they had to replace it.
And they did.
They sure
Mike
did.
Bowler and crew got him back out.
21 laps down.
Is that old blue or new blue? I get so confused because new blue was about a dozen years old. And in race car years, you know, it's kind of like dog years. You know, a 12-year-old race car is how old?
Yeah.
That looks a lot newer than even the new blue that I remember for the Bowler team.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Looks like they're all done fixing that wall in the backstretch. Good job, guys.
You know, we showed how modifieds have evolved over the years. They are NASCAR's oldest division, and these are still NASCAR's lightest race cars. About 2650 with driver compared to the Sprint Cup cars. No, they don't make as much power, and with those big tires out in the wind, they're not going to go as fast top speed. Effectively a two-speed transmission.
Yeah, and they are nimble. They are incredibly nimble, as you have seen tonight.
42 laps to go as the sun heads for the horizon in Bristol, Tennessee. You're watching the Mod Squad live on Speed. Welcome back to Bristol. 40 laps to go with Dick Berger, and I'm Mike Joy. Bob Dillner on pit road. Bob, getting ready to go green.
And a lot of people wondering if the 6 car has anything for the leader, Todd Szegedy. Well, we told you in that halfway break that Ron Silk was reporting that he had a very loose race car. They made a bunch of adjustments to that thing, but it's still wicked loose. In fact, his major concern right now, according to the team, is holding off the number 51 car of Justin Bonsignor for second. So right now, Ron Silk on the edge, last year's Whelen Modified Tour champ, not having a liking to his race car.
Late adjustment, toe out adjustment on Leah's car. They better hurry or they're going to go a lap down. And Donnie Leah scoots away. He's going to stay on the lead lap as we get 1 to go.
He's going to have to hurry just to get to the back of the pack.
Ed Flemke brought out that caution and red flag, running 15th. 6th caution, counting the halfway break. 39 to go. Todd Szegedy has never finished worse than 6th here in 3 starts. Lined up against Ron Silk, who won the season opener at Thompson, the icebreaker, and got his 7th career pole earlier this afternoon. Pace car heads for the house. It's been Wipeout Wednesday for much of the Mod Squad. Let's see if we can settle it here with 38 to go on the wave of the green flag. Here we go.
Szegedy, a nice restart.
Bonsignor, 51, tried the bottom, nothing there. Single file, 1st through 4th. Chu loses a spot to Kobe, who moves up into the top 5 for the first time today in his white number 52. Now they're up to speed. 36 to go this time.
A lot of different lanes to choose from here. Some people running closer to the bottom, others in the middle, others upstairs. None seems to have a particular advantage.
Priest in the 16 seems to like the high side. This time he goes to the bottom, coming out of 4, trying to stay within a car length of Bonsignor in the 51.
Who's bottoming out. Sparks from under Bonsignor's car.
Nine cars nose to tail, 35 to go, Bob.
You mentioned that Ryan Priest was running the outside groove. He has to right now, Mike, because that car just way too tight. We got an accident on the front stretch.
Donnie Leah has spun in the front straightaway.
In the back stretch, blew it with a tire rolling down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that was his left rear. It may complete this lap on its own. Right about now is where Darrell would sing.
Yeah.
You picked a fine
time to leave me loose wheel. Yes. But neither Mike Joy nor I can sing as well as Darrell Waltrip. It's still going. That wheel is still going.
Cue the chorus.
Yeah. We'll see if the truck can catch it. There is a truck trying to catch up with that wheel.
Nice to see Ling trucking on the back of Blewett's car. We lost Don Ling not long ago. Great backer of the New Jersey Modifieds. And, boy, that's a tough hit.
Yeah.
And now the wheel took off by itself. I wonder.
It didn't.
Not the axle. Just looked like it was just the wheel, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It was this spin that started it all, the right front of Donnie Leah's. Now, remember, Leah had just been in the pits for a toe adjustment, and just prior to going green.
Blewett looks like he's trying to figure out where that wheel left.
And I don't recall when he made his pit stop. Let's see what Ryan Newman's onboard camera can tell us. That was Leah just with a hard right turn into the wall, and a lot of sparks trailing from the 73. Wad 'em up Wednesday continues.
Yeah, we didn't really see what happened to Blewett's car there.
I didn't see anybody around Donnie Leah. That car just turned right.
It seemed to, yeah. What a day he's had, huh?
You saw him walking toward the ambulance. He's okay.
Won one of the practices, wrecked in qualifying, goes to a backup car, gets all the way to 9th, then winds up crashing out of the event after all.
And that trip to the care center is mandatory. If you don't drive the car back to its pit, you must take the ride in the ambulance and get checked out. Bob?
We were talking about Ryan Preece before that wreck happened, and Ryan Preece just really tight right now. We mentioned they adjusted the toe at the halfway break after that contact with Ted Christopher. Well, they think they have a bent right front spindle on that car, and he has to run the high line because that car just does not want to turn in the center of the corner, and that's the problem for Ryan Preece right now.
Tough break for Jimmy Blewett. Had a good run going here. The happiest I've ever seen Jimmy Blewett was at Caraway last year, the North-South Shootout in November. And they have a little kids big wheel race on the front straightaway. And the kids race about 50 yards. And one young member of the Blewett family had a great race.
Well, that'll do it. That'll put a smile on his face.
He was proudest.
Yep. Blewett has had quite a winter for himself. He has lost a total of 80 pounds. I asked him how he did it, and he said he just started eating right. He's got a nutritionist that's helping him. He's eating 6 to 10 small meals a day, drinking a lot of water, doing a lot of push-ups, a lot of cardio. And the reason he did it, because his crew chief thought that he was messing up the car's left side weight at the weight he was. So he went on a diet in order to go faster in the race car.
Well, it worked for him, but boy, tough break puts him out with 30 to go. Coming up next on Speed, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Here's a look at your top 5 this season. The setup will precede the race. Chris Devoda, your host. And there's a look at the standings. Cale Gale's going to start from pole tonight with Peters alongside. Then Todd Bodine, Brad Keselowski will be the front 2 rows. Ryan Blaney and Nelson Piquet Jr. in row 3. Crafton, Calder, Kligerman, and Sauter will be the top 10 when the trucks roll off the grid here in Bristol. Bob?
A concern right now for the 51 of Justin Bonsignor running in that 3rd spot. Doug Coby, who's 2 spots behind him, came down and actually told the team, one of his crew members did, that they think the right rear is going down on the 51. Well, the spotter for Justin Bonsignor took a look at that tire and said, you know what, I think it's A-OK. We'll be good to go. But certainly a scary moment there for Justin Bonsignor running so well here. They have a concern about that right rear tire that they're keeping an eye on.
The track crew is working on the racetrack in the area of turn 1. That is the delay.
Hopefully it'll be just a minute or 2 here.
I bet there's something stuck in the wall.
No, they're working on the surface. And Dick, what they did here, Bruton Smith said, we're going to change this surface. Remember, it's progressively banked. And the area where they worked on the track is, well, sorry, I drew it, and sorry, Roger. I should have told you I was going to do that. Let me try this again. From here to the wall is the area where they ground and then smoothed the surface. So this transition here is part of the area where work was done. And the idea was to remove the topmost area of progressive banking and make Bristol more of a 2-groove than the 3-groove racetrack that it was previously. So a little bit of teething pains right here. We'll be back with the modifieds in a moment.